Yep, this is me with all my hopes down the drain. What's up, you guys? It is your girl Becca, and yes, this is me looking like I got an Annie wig on. It's a hard knock life. But don't worry, I did pick myself back up, and I ended up with this beautiful perm rod set. So if you're interested, keep watching. So I did start out with 3 sections, one in the back, one in the middle, and one in the front. And I have these 2 jumbo pieces in the back, and I'm just going to take that loose. But before I start, let me tell you what products I use. So I am using the Nairobi wrapping mousse, then I have a detangler brush, then I have my rat tail comb, and of course, perm rods. So what I'd like to do is just take 2 pumps of mousse, depending on how big the section is, and then I rub that into my hair. And then what I'm going to do is just detangle, because you want to make sure that your hair is smooth for this process. Split that into 2. And then for this one, what I did was flat twist the roots, and I flat twisted about halfway down my hair shaft. And then I ended up detangling again. And then what I did was take a hair clip, and then I split my ends into 2 pieces, but I was making sure that it was smooth. And then what I did was just take that perm rod and just make sure my ends were wrapped around it first, and then I rolled it up, and then I began twisting it until I got halfway up to my hair. And then of course I secured the roller by placing the little thingy inside the hole, and then I just repeated that process on the other side of my end by detangling first and taking that perm rod, wrapping it around my end first, and then rolling it up and twisting it. So I ended up doing 4 in that back row, and then when I hit that middle row, I did about 6 in that row, but I was repeating the same process by flat twisting the roots, twisting it halfway through my hair, making sure I detangle so my hair is smooth, adding more mousse if I need to, and then splitting that into 2 pieces, taking that perm rod, rolling it around my ends first, and then twisting it, and just repeating that process. So everything was going good until I reached the front of my head. When it came to the front, I repeated the same process as my back rows, but this time I just flat twisted my hair going forward. And of course, I did the 2 rollers, making sure everything was smooth, adding more mousse if I needed to. So halfway through doing my head, I was running out of rollers. So what I had to do was take out the double rollers, twist that whole section all the way to the end, and then take the roller and roll it up. And I did that up until the very first double rollers that I had. So I left 1 section with double rollers, but everything else I twisted to the end, and I repeated that on the opposite side of my head. This is where I left the double roller, right where my middle part is, that only section, and I left it on the opposite side of my head too, the double rollers. So I copied the way to do this style with the flat twist from another YouTuber's video, but I won't say who I did it from because maybe it worked for them, but it did not work for me because the twists were coming loose and I had to keep rolling it up as well. So if you do this method, kudos to you, but I would not recommend this method, honestly. I kept laughing at myself because honestly, if you've seen the movie Friday, I look like the guy Big Worm, and I just kept cracking up. But I did leave these to dry underneath a dryer for an hour, and then I let it air dry overnight. So it is the next day that I am taking out these perm rods, and not gonna lie, that first curl looked promising. As you can see, I could not contain my excitement. So as I continue taking it down, you know, second curl still looked promising, like I said. So what I did was decide to take down all the rollers. You know, the ends were looking, you know, pretty decent, whatever. And then I decided to take a light oil, like jojoba oil, put it on my hands, and then rub it on my hair as I take out my twist. So I was taking them out gently, and yeah, so it was looking okay. I was twirling it around to, you know, keep the curls form, and I was doing that as I continued to take out the twist. So I think when I was taking out the flat twist, it kept disrupting the curls at the ends, making it a little frizzy. But for the most part, the back actually came out pretty darn good. As you can see, I'm continuously taking out my flat twists, which were pretty difficult, I would say. And now, here's where my heart breaks, okay, y'all? I am taking out the front of my hair, and as you can see, my ends did not curl at all, and it's because I had to twist my hair all the way to the ends. Look at that. That is not cute. Okay, that is not cute at all. Second flat twist, and my heart just dropped. Look at my facial expression, y'all. Look at me. I'm like shocked. I'm like, oh no, child. I cannot go outside like this. And then the end result. Look at me. I look like I got an Annie wig on. I look like I got this wig from the beauty supply store and it was like sitting on the shelves for months, okay? I played myself. So what I did to make myself feel better, I put on a little bit of makeup. I tried to film myself with my little red lipstick. I was like, you know, I look like Pam Grier. You know, I look like I was in the 70s. I'm kind of cute or whatever, but when I tell you it did not last, as soon as I stepped outside, my head said, poof, be gone. Like, I was done for, okay? Done. So it is the next day, y'all, and judging by this half side of my head, you know my hair did not last long. So I already got the other half of the side done, so I'm just going to show you guys how I did it. So the products that I used was this leave-in conditioner by Lotta Body, and I also used their mousse. And then I did the tangler brush, but I did a different one. I guess you guys call it the tangle tweezer, but it's very thin. So, because I needed my hair to get very smooth if I wanted this to come out right. So I'm just taking a small section in the back, and then I'm going to split that into 2 pieces. Of course, I'm going to do my regular handy dandy, spray it with water. Spray it with water, and then I'm going to use that leave-in conditioner, put that on my ends, and I'm going to use that detangler brush to smooth it through. Then I'm going to go ahead with that mousse, place that on my hair as well, rub it into my hair, and then take that detangler brush and smooth that through as well. Now, this time I am twisting the roots, but I'm not flat twisting it. So I did that not even like halfway down my hair shaft, maybe like 25% of the way. And then what I did was take that detangler brush and just glide it down my hair, but I made sure that my fingers were sliding down behind it so I can maintain that smooth surface. Once I had it all the way down to my ends, I wrapped it around the perm rod, making sure it was smooth. So as you can see, I'm actually taking my time this time, wrapping up my ends around the perm rod to make sure that it's smooth. Now, when I'm rolling up this perm rod, I'm doing it at least halfway through my hair. And then I begin twisting it all the way to the root. And then I just repeat that process throughout my whole head. Now that I've done my last perm rod, what I'm going to do is just sit under a dryer for a longer time than the first time because I added more product. And so I'm going to do about 2 hours under the hooded dryer, and then I'm going to let it air dry the rest of the way all night. So I did do my makeup, you know, your girl looking cute and whatever. And now it's time to take down these perm rods. So again, the first one, curl looking promising. So you see, I smoothed my hair around that perm rod. That's why I got that nice little coil right there. So we're gonna do another one. And as you can see, got the coil because we smoothed our hair around these perm rods. So as I'm taking these down, they're looking promising, but I didn't want to get too excited because you know what happened the first time. You feel me? So now that all these perm rods are taken out, it is time to separate. And now what I'm gonna do is just use this oil from Talia Wajid, and then you can use any light oil. And then I'm just gonna use a few drops of that and just rub it onto my hair to make sure that once I separate them, they're not gonna get frizzy. And now I'm just gonna section off a piece, and then I'm just gonna work in this small section here. So what I like to do first is just rotate my hair and which way to find out which way I curled it. That way, once I separate it, if it gets a little frizzy, I can just coil it back in that direction so it can maintain its shape. So as I was separating the curls, y'all see that big bazooka of frizz right there? Yeah, that's because my hair did not fully dry right there. So I had to really be careful when I was separating that. So I didn't touch that section a lot. So I will show you as the video goes on what I did to kind of mask that frizz. Y'all remember that little frizzy piece I had? What I did was just twist it all the way down to my ends. Then I'm just kind of roll it up into like a little ball, and then I take a bobby pin and just pin that somewhere into my hair. Anywhere. Just get it out of the way, y'all. Don't let no one see it. Once again, I'm repeating the process of separating the curls, and y'all, look again, my heart is breaking because my hair did not fully dry. So, you guys, please make sure your hair is fully dry before you even begin to separate the curls, because when you take the rollers down, they may look like, oh, so cute and whatever, but as soon as you start to separate them, that is when the truth comes out. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did to that other side by hiding that frizzy piece and just leaving it alone. So by far, the other curls have been doing really good. I've just been twirling them in the direction that I had the roller in. That way they maintain their shape. And I'm just gonna keep doing that to the rest of my head. I did have a little bit of frizz in the front, so I'm just gonna take a bobby pin and press that down to kind of get that out of my way. That way when I put the other curls on top, it kind of blends in with that, and it gives me, you can say, more volume. And this is the final look. So I just want to give you a recap of where my hair came from, and to let y'all know, do not give up. And I want y'all to let me know in the comments, was I exaggerating? Do you think that first Perm Rod set was a fail? Do you think it was a, like, let me know your thoughts. And make sure you guys never give up, and that's on anything in life. And that concludes this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Your love is real love, like a type of